The subnet mask is extremely important because without it, computers and routers won't be able to determine what part of the IP address goes for the network and what part of the IP address goes for the host. So if you take, say, your default subnet mask for a Class C address, which is going to be 255.255.255.0, and you alter that because you've borrowed a certain number of bits, you must make sure you specify that in your subnet mask so that computers and routers can find where to send the information. Let's look at this a little more specifically. Let's say you've borrowed 4 bits from the addresses that you were assigned for your subnetting. So these first 4 bits go for subnetting. What we want to do in order to determine our subnet mask is we take these 4 bits and we get the decimal equivalents of them. If we look down here, conversion-wise, the bit here is worth 128, the bit here, 64, the bit here, the third bit in, 32, and the fourth bit in is 16. If we take these numbers, we bring them down here, we add them up, so 128 plus 64 plus 36 plus 16 equals 240. This number here is our subnet mask because this is the equivalent of this. So if we plug this in to our subnet mask, the default subnet mask that is, it would help the computer find where it needs to send its information. Let's go down here and look at this. If we had a Class A address, the default is 255.0.0.0. We plug our subnet mask that we just made because we borrowed 4 bits, we determined to equal 240. It's now going to be 255.240.0.0. In the case of a Class B address, we'd have 255.255.0.0 is the default. We alter it. We use subnets. We borrow 4 bits. The 4 bits equal the decimal value of 240. So we have our subnet mask is now 255.255.240.0. Class C address, here's our default, 255.255.255.0. We borrowed 4 bits, so then our subnet mask becomes 255.255.255.240. I'd like you to do a couple of calculations here. I'd like you to go through and determine the subnet mask for a Class C address where you borrow 3 bits. First, put your default mask. Then, specify the custom mask, which is what you'd have after you borrowed your 3 bits. The next item is to determine the subnet mask for a Class B address where you borrowed 2 bits. First, put your default mask. Then put your custom subnet mask after you borrow the 2 bits. And then finally go through and determine the subnet mask for a Class C address where you borrow 5 bits. Put your default mask and your custom mask after you borrow the 5 bits. The calculation sheet for you to work on can be found in the Stuff folder. It is called 04 space subnet space mask, or 04 subnet mask. And in the next segment, we'll look at the solution for these calculations.